So Starfield derangement syndrome is a thing. I've just coined that term. I don't know if I've used that on this show before. I don't think I have. But Starfield derangement syndrome, it is a thing. SDS. Do you have SDS? How do I know if I have SDS, X1? Well, if you're completely unhinged about all things Starfield, if you've never played the game but have extremely strong opinions about the game, or if you've put thousands of hours into the game and in doing so think it's the worst game ever made, you have Starfield derangement syndrome. Why? Because none of those things make logical sense. Now, you can think the game is the best game ever made. That doesn't mean that you have derangement syndrome. You can think the game is the worst game ever made. That also doesn't mean that you have derangement syndrome, Starfield derangement syndrome. I can't even say it. You can have an opinion about the game anywhere in between. Starfield derangement syndrome is just a complete lack of logic and a complete emotional attachment to things that oftentimes are completely unrelated, especially when you've never played the game. That's the thing that blows me. Anyways, there's a prime example of this that took place over the last couple days over on Twitter. The Bethesda, what is his name? Emil Pagliarulo. He has a very difficult last name. Pagliarulo. There we go. Emil Pagliarulo. He's the studio design director over at Bethesda. And he did an interview at GamesRadar.com where he talked about designing Skyrim and how excited their team was for Shattered Space, the DLC, some of the thought process behind that. And it was just a normal gaming interview that you do with someone from behind the scenes at a development company. That was posted on October 2nd. He said, hey, this was a fun interview. Go check it out over at GamesRadar.com. On October 8th, someone suffering, Mountain Dude 112, suffering from Starfield derangement syndrome, created this giant thread on his tweet. And we're going to go over it. We're going to read it. We're going to debunk a lot of it. We're going to push back on a lot of it. It eventually led to Emil apologizing. And I don't think Emil should apologize at all. I don't think that anyone from Starfield or Bethesda should apologize for the game. I think they created a game. I think they took chances. I think they did some unconventional things. Some people liked it. Some people didn't like it. It's their prerogative. And I personally, I like, full disclosure, I like Starfield. I think it's about an 8 for me. I would give it, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the exploration. I enjoyed getting lost in space. It's not perfect by any means, and some of the criticisms out there about Starfield are legitimate criticisms. It's not Skyrim, and it's not Fallout. And I think a lot of people want Skyrim and want Fallout. But let's go over this because I saw this and I thought, oh my goodness, people are crazy. Starfield derangement syndrome, SDS. That's what it is. We also will go over a new console that Xbox is dropping here. It's an Indiana Jones console, and it looks amazing. And how you can get your hands on it. It looks really cool, guys. And also a new Xbox headset that is rumored to be refreshed. The Xbox headset itself, their wireless headset, is looking like it's getting a refresh. I have that headset. Very excited. We'll go over what that refresh could mean, what it does mean, and what we know so far. Before we jump into it, though, if you're here on YouTube, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We have daily Xbox news and opinion videos just like this dropping on this channel each and every single day. We also, guess what, everybody? We have a podcast. That's right. We now have a podcast, Daily Xbox News. It's X1 Daily over on Spotify, over on Apple Podcasts. If you're listening to us there, please rate and review us. Drop us a 5-star review. Drop us a 5-star rating. And let us know what you think. Help us grow the show that way. It's much appreciated. Let's jump right into this. So here's Emil. Again, he is the studio design director over at Bethesda Game Studio. He did this interview from Games Radar that he shared. He said this was a fun interview. More Shattered Space info. That was on October 2nd. Then if we scroll down here, here is, how long is this thread? Look, this thread is like 15 pieces long. So we're going to go through it because it's Twitter. They're really small characters just chopped up into chunks. Hey, Emil, this is from Mountain Dude 112, who, by the way, for those listening, he doesn't even have a profile picture on Twitter. He's following 249 people. He only has 95 followers. So social media lesson number 1, for those of you that don't know, I work in the gaming space. I'm the head of community content at the company that I work with. And so we deal with social media all the time. Just because you're getting tweeted at by someone a lot, it can seem like a lot, but it's one person. First thing you always do, number 1, how many views is each of these tweets getting? These are getting 1,000 views and really no comments to each of them. So this If I was Emil, I would not have replied at all. It doesn't warrant a reply. This dude suffers from Starfield derangement syndrome. Here's what he says. Hey, Emil, read the interview since it's been circulating a lot in gamer review circles lately. First of all, he misspelled gamer. He said gamer. Gamer review circles lately. To be honest, this is going to be adding fuel to an already smoldering fire amongst disappointed players. It reads as if you and the team are patting yourselves on the head. So first of all, it reads as if they're excited about creating Shattered Space. And I think that that's completely appropriate. Second of all, if it does read as Emil patting him and his team on the head, what's wrong with that? He absolutely should, particularly if he thinks him and his team did a good job. Whether or not he thinks him and his team doing a good job has nothing to do with your perception of the game. So, completely, again, Starfield derangement syndrome. Part 2, second post, he continues. Mr. Mountain Dude continues. It's a pat on the head that, based on reviews, may not be warranted. Okay. I'll admit I haven't played it yet, and here we come to the key. And this is the problem with so many of the opinions that we're seeing online on all things gaming, really, but on Starfield in particular. I've yet to play it yet, but I'm about to tell you my opinion of it, and I'm about to lecture you about why you shouldn't be excited about the content that you just made. Crazy. Bro, play the game. Before you write a 15-part thread on someone's tweet, on a game designer's tweet, play the game first. Why do you have such a strong opinion on a game you've never played? Okay, let's restart this. It's a pat on the head, says Mountain Dew 112, that based on reviews may not be warranted. I'll admit I haven't played it yet. I can't get over that sentence. But I can't justify its purchase with its current cost under the current reviews. The tone of the interview, however, is very tone deaf to the wider community. How would you know that? How do you know it's tone deaf to the wider community? First of all, you don't even... What wider community? You don't even have a profile picture on your Twitter, bro. Second of all, you've not played the game. Again, you've not played the game. We could end this video right here and just say, you've not played the game. What are you talking about? But we'll continue because what the purpose of this is to illustrate, this is one example of many of Starfield derangement syndrome. It's a thing. You highlight that Bethesda. So first of all, remember throughout all this that he's not played the game, and he's saying that Emil is tone deaf. The tone of the interview, however, is very tone deaf to a wider community. Okay, bro. You highlight that Bethesda created a handcrafted space reminiscent of previous Bethesda works, in contrast to the procedural generated base game. This only reinforces the issues with the base game and further points out a lack of understanding and engagement from Bethesda. You've not played the game! You said you've not played the game! So first of all, the entire game is not procedurally generated. A lot of the planets are procedurally generated, but they also have handcrafted planets in that. So that's number one. Don't know even what he's trying to get at there. You reiterate in the interview that your team poured a lot of creativity into Shattered Space. Fans, even critical ones, don't doubt the passion being put into your games. But you keep making the same mistakes from previous titles and justifying unpopular decisions in this one. Again, he's not played the game. What are you talking about, bro? I actually genuinely don't know what he's talking about. A handcrafted space doesn't mean much when it still suffers from what reviews are critical of: poorly written quests, bugs, a lack of meaningful content, and under-delivered material. Again, he's basing this off of what he's read on the internet. He's not played the game. Life tip. If you have such a strong opinion on something, make sure you have experience in that something that you have a strong opinion on before speaking. And do your research and be informed. This dude hasn't played the game. These reviews are following a pattern of similar issues with previous Bethesda titles. Without naming those Bethesda titles, this is exaggerated when bugs, poorly written quests, lack of meaningful content, and an oversaturation of procedurally generated material has yet to be addressed in the base game, and comments from both you and Todd Howard have been dismissive of these issues. They're not dismissive at all. Bugs are bugs in a game. Bugs exist in every game, and they fix them as they pop up. They work hard to fix them as they pop up. Starfield has already improved a lot of the features that, first of all, let me rephrase this. This dude is talking about them being tone deaf and out of touch. They literally have addressed the immediate concerns. Some of the biggest immediate concerns, i.e. maps. Maps have been completely reworked, which is awesome. And travel on planets, i.e. cars. And the vehicle is amazing. So there's 2 right off the bat. No one's been, I've not seen Todd Howard or Emil in this thing be dismissive of any issues. Also, once again, you've not played the game. I say this as a long-time Bethesda fan trying to engage with you. I'm concerned with the direction you are going in. It seems like you are doubling down, protecting choices that at best have had mixed reviews while ignoring issues your fan base has been pointing out for years. Once again, he's not played the game. No one wants to see Starfield. Do you like my condescending voice? This is my voice of someone. This is the voice and tone of someone with Starfield derangement syndrome. No one wants to see. Makes me laugh. No one wants to see Starfield fail. It sounds like you do. Honestly, it sounds like he does. You've not even played the game, bro. No one wants to see Starfield fail, but your fans would like to see the level of engagement companies like CDPR had with correcting issues with Cyberpunk 2077, whose use of DLCs were an example of how to re-verify issues in the base game. How much you want to bet this dude didn't even play Cyberpunk 2077? Anyone? Any takers? I would be willing to bet this dude hasn't even played Cyberpunk 2077 either. I do want to end on a somewhat possible note. I think he meant positive, but he said possible. Also, if you're going to go off like this, make sure your spelling's correct. Although Shattered Space is no Far Harbor, the fact that you are responsible for creating content to that degree does demonstrate an ability to do so. Well, thank you for telling Emil that he can do it. He's got the talent. I'm sure that means a lot to him. A lot of your fans, this is his last sentence, a lot of your fans would just like to see that level of content redirected, that level of content, sorry, I misread that. Let me reread this again. A lot of your fans would just like to see that level of content redirected into addressing the issues of the game and to feel like their concerns are not being dismissed. Once again, you've not played the game, dude. Self-admitted. He shouldn't have self-admitted that. He shouldn't have, but he did. So points for honesty. So Emil then responds, and here's Emil. Hi, Stephen. Well, first of all, I appreciate you taking the time to passionately share your thoughts. I may not agree with everything you wrote, but I understand and appreciate where you're coming from. So this made news stories. Why did this make news stories? Because Emil responded. I would not have responded. I don't think he should have responded to this. This dude is clearly suffering from Starfield derangement syndrome, from SDS. There's some medications that solve that, by the way. Emil continues, Twitter X has never been a place for polite discourse, and I'd like to address what I can. I don't like leaving fans hanging. Yeah, dude, shout out to Emil for this. Well done. I would not have. I think that, I think this dude is crazy, but shout out to him. Bonus points for him. In fact, I generally say more than I should. We have a community team for a reason. Yes, you do. But I think a bridge to the devs is important. First, the interview. As a design director, sometimes I'm asked or instructed to do interviews. I was happy to do that, to represent the designers in the studio. Seeing how hard and passionately they worked on Shattered Space, they deserve nothing less. Optimism and excitement are pretty standard for interviews, and I'm generally pretty optimistic and excited about games by nature. That said, my optimism is in no way meant to be mud in the eye of any dissatisfied fan. That's not how it works. My problem with him responding here is he's justifying his interview. He doesn't need to justify anything. Like, I think this is a mistake. This became a news story. This gives this Starfield derangement syndrome dude, Mountain Dude 112, too much credit. I think it's coming from a place of good intention from Emil. Absolutely. But I think you don't need to justify why you're excited and have optimism and are a positive person in any interview. That's insane. Do you know how insane that is? I'm also very proud of Shattered Space. We all are. Most of the quests and levels were done by designers who have worked on previous Bethesda games and DLCs, going all the way back to Morrowind. They're good at what they do, and it shows. I agree. Some of the quests that I've played so far in Starfield, I've not beat it in Shattered Space, are really good. One of my favorites is right off the bat. You run into brothers who are fighting, and they challenge each other to a duel, and you have to basically decide their fate. And it's really interesting. And I thought about what to do for a while. So shout out to the designers. If folks haven't played Shattered Space and they like Starfield, I think they're missing out. I agree with that 100%. Absolutely. If folks have played Shattered Space and still don't like it, that makes me sad. Honestly, just know that we've also been hearing from plenty of people who love it. Yes, once again, I think people with Starfield derangement syndrome fall into the trap of thinking that everyone thinks like them, that everyone must share their opinion, and that because they see other people who suffer from SDS, that means that everyone suffers from SDS. No, most people are very logical. Most people have legit critiques and legit praise for the game. Maybe it's a game of expectations. Emil continues. Fans want a lot, and we do all we can to accommodate them. Here's what I can tell you. Nobody, and I mean nobody at Bethesda, is patting themselves on the back while ignoring our players. First of all, I think you should pat yourselves on the back. It's the number one selling game at Bethesda of all time. That's something. That's something big. And I think they should pat themselves on the back. I don't think you need to apologize for being successful as a game developer. Don't need to apologize to anybody, especially people that suffer from SDS. In addition to Shattered Space, we've also spent a lot of time this year addressing community concerns and making fixes. They really have. We'll continue to do so, and we'll be listening to our fans every step of the way. We make these games for all of you. Starfield is a massive game, and it takes time for us to address things. We move as fast as we can, as safely as we can. Game development is always tricky, but with a game as big as Starfield, every fix could potentially break something else. To close, let me just say I love games. I love Bethesda. I've been playing them since the Terminator days. All I or anyone here wants to do is make those games and then make them better. No ego, no arrogance, just a lot of hard work and appreciation for our fans. Well said, Emil. For that alone, well said. Again, I think that's a decent response. I think what frustrates me about this response is I don't think you need to justify yourself or your actions to people who haven't played your game. I think you justify them. I don't think you have to justify your actions. I think you have to answer and explain and say, hey, here was our thought process to people who have legitimate concerns. But people that suffer from Starfield derangement syndrome as Mountain Dude 112 does is insanity, dude. And let me reiterate one last time here. He's not even played the game. I would love to know what you guys think. Do you think that this guy does suffer from Starfield derangement syndrome? Do you think Starfield derangement syndrome is a thing? Where I'm sitting, I really think it is. Starfield broke the internet. It really has. It's if it's not Skyrim for you, and it's not Skyrim, it's also not the worst game ever. Compared to what, like, the amount of negative press it gets does not even close equate. Like, at worst, what is it? I would say a reasonable person at worst maybe gives it a 6 or a 7. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I just don't see it. Maybe I like it too much. Maybe I'm blind. Let me know if I'm blind. Maybe I enjoy the game and just can't see the outrage machine behind it. Is it perfect? Again, no, it's not. There's a lot of issues. But what it does really well, and I enjoy actually being in space, and I think that the foundation has been set to really make this something special long term. So I'm excited to see it. Let's actually jump to the next story. Check this out. This is Indiana Jones. For those of you listening on the podcast, just look up Indiana Jones and the Great Circle Xbox. It's gold with an Indiana Jones hat logo in the top right corner and a wooden designed controller with gold joysticks and jeweled buttons. It looks awesome. This is a giveaway. Surprise, surprise. Here it is. To celebrate the highly anticipated release of Indiana Jones, this is over at news.xbox.com, so Microsoft's official site. To celebrate the highly anticipated release of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Xbox has designed a stunning custom console and controller that pays homage to the adventurer himself. From November 12th, fans can head to Microsoft Experience Centers located in London, Sydney, and New York to view a stunning Indiana Jones-inspired display. Solve the puzzle to enter the sweepstakes for a chance of winning this unique console. So if you are in London, Sydney, or New York, let's see, do they have more pictures of this? Oh, dear, look at it. It's so cool. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. So encased, you get a box in which your controller comes in. And you get a stand for your controller. Oh, dude, this is cool. If they sold this, I would buy this. Just sell it. You could sell it for $200 more than what it's worth. I would buy this thing. Look how good it looks. I wish they would sell this. They do these special edition consoles and controllers all the time, and I wish they would just sell them instead of only having them to be able to win, which is a fun thing and it's a marketing ploy, absolutely. But you know what else is a marketing ploy? Sell me it. Let me buy it from you. I would buy this. This is so cool. At least if you're not going to sell the Xbox itself that way, make a wrap. I would buy the wrap. I have a Starfield wrap. I love the Starfield wrap. I think wraps are great. Anyways, go London, Sydney, and New York. If you're anywhere, make sure you go to the Microsoft experience on November 12th through January 6th and solve the puzzle. Enter to win. You lucky sons of bitches. Last but not least, this is over at Xbox, purexbox.com. Report Xbox will refresh its official wireless headset later this month. Now, Xbox official wireless headset is really good. It's $99 base. I think I got mine for like $79 on sale. I have it. Here it is. For those watching, you can see it on camera. And I absolutely love it. Here's the thing. I did a lot of research because I was in the market for a new headset with my new setup here, and I wanted a Bluetooth headset. These headphones that I have on right now are actually open back, and I use them for podcasting because I can hear my voice. And I've been using open back headsets for gaming. The problem is they're all wired, and I needed something Bluetooth. And I was doing my research, and I was prepared to spend big bucks. I was prepared to spend $300, $400 on over-the-top, expensive, top-tier Bluetooth headsets. And I kept coming back to the Xbox brand, the Xbox official wireless headset. And everybody kept saying that this is the best bang for your buck. Are there headsets that are better? Yes, there are. But this has the best value for what you're getting. So I said, okay, you know what? If I don't like it, I can return it. I don't have to spend a lot of money on it. I can buy it. So I went and picked up this, and I have to say, I love them to the point. My brother has Astros. He has the expensive Astros. And he's in the market now for a new set of Bluetooth headphones strictly for his Xbox. And he was over and he was like, dude, maybe I'll get these. These are great. And he's going to get them. Trust me, these headsets the reviews were all true. They are best bang for your buck. And I'm very excited for a refresh for these. Now, a new report has landed on a website, according to Outlet D Labs. This is a site in Europe, and they say that there's a relaunch coming and that it's a new update, but they don't have the details on what the refresh is. If I were to guess, I would say probably battery life and maybe something with Bluetooth, maybe an upgrade to the Bluetooth. But I don't know. I don't know what you update from here. These are wildly comfortable. They're light. They work fantastic. They charge quickly. They last a long time. The mic is really decent. The volume control is really good. The way that you handle party versus in-game chat is intuitive. I can't say enough good things about these headsets. I'm excited to see a refresh. I'm excited to see what they are. Longer battery life, I could imagine, and then perhaps like an updated, more advanced Bluetooth situation and setup there. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. I would love to know what you guys think should be refreshed if you own these headsets. If you don't, let me know in the comments. What headsets do you have? I'm always curious. Headsets to me are like controllers. I would collect them if I could, if I had the funds. I think they're super cool. I think a lot of them are a work of art. But again, let me know in the comments what you think there. Regardless, it's exciting. Let's wait and see what's coming with the Xbox refresh of their official headsets. That does us for today, everybody. Again, if you're interested in following the podcast, X1 Daily, over on Spotify and Apple Podcast, leave us a 5-star rating, leave us a review, and subscribe to us there. Like us here on YouTube and subscribe to us and share us with all your friends. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.